nothing I'd ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and pointed to me and said, "Let's have this fellow here." He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee and he asked, "Now, what would you like for Christmas?" I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine, but the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. He gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's arms. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood holding the bell high above him and called out, "This is the first gift of Christmas." A clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me and I put it in my passport pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeer's name and crackled to it. His team charged forward, climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us and disappeared into the cold, dark, cold sky. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh. "Let's hurry outside and look for it," one of the children said. But the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. As the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth. "Merry Christmas!" he shouted. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away. On Christmas morning, my little Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last small box behind the tree. It had my name in it. Inside was a silver bell. There was a note. "Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C." I shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But my mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." "Yes," said my father, "it's broken." When I'd shaken the bell, my parents had not heard a sound. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as the years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found on Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Now I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.
That's okay. Thank you, Charles, and his assistants. Well done. You all were waiting to hear the story. Thank you very much to Charles and the employees at Savills for their contribution. I believe you are all invited.
Yes.
Is there enough room for everybody?
Absolutely, there is.
We have some nibbles and all sorts of nice warm things. So you're all welcome to come in, warm yourselves whilst we just clear up. But thank you again to Savills, and thank you everybody for turning out. And I know there are a few people that have been coming every day for the last 9 days. So thank you, and I hope you will still continue to come. We're in Eton tomorrow, so anybody that's planning to come to the performance tomorrow, we are in Eton. So far, everything's been in Windsor, but tomorrow we're in Jam in Eton High Street, so it's sort of near the bridge end, so you don't have to travel too far over the bridge. But thank you very much, Charles. Thank you very much, staff and colleagues at Savills. Sorry, excuse me. And welcome you in for some nibbles. Thank you.
Well done.